Yo, what's up everyone? Today I'm back with yet another tutorial covering React and styled components. But in this tutorial we are going to focus on how to make our design responsive and give it some beautiful animations, which you could see right over here. As you can see, we got this beautiful fading from top to bottom and bottom to top, just with a little bit differences in duration. And the page is a responsive one. As you can see, if we get under the tablet sizing, you can see that we get rid of the side menu, we get rid of the extra icons inside the profile section, and the grid itself becomes only one column. And if we extend it, you can see that we get up to 3 columns here. And one more point, in this video we are going to cover how to use the Chrome debugging tools. For example, we get to work with breakpoints over here, as you can see, and all of these tools are going to help us build our application, build our website fully responsive, and make sure that we get the designs pixel perfect and beautifully done. The design itself came from Rijal. This is his dribble page, and I've chosen this one, photo stock. As you can see, this is some beautiful design over here, and we are going to learn how to implement it and just code the project using React and styled components. The first step is going to be cloning this repository over here. So I will use git here, git clone, and paste the URL, and the destination folder is going to be called YT React UI photo stock, and it's responsive, and press enter. And we're waiting for the git to clone this. It's done. We have to configure some settings in here, so I will first of all I will remove this git folder here and open the Visual Studio Code. And let me close this one. And we have the Figma file over here. Minimize that, and okay, in here we should change some stuff. First of all, this one is going to be YT React UI and photo stock responsive. And there you go. The next step is going to be setting the theme file up. But before we go ahead, we have a little bit extra section over here, two new variables. Actually, I think we saw them in the last video, but we never used them, or we deleted them. And in this video, the whole project revolves around these two variables, or these two objects. As you can see, we got some breakpoints over here, which defines the border for each rule that should be applied. So let's see what they do. They are being used in a string over here. As you can see, this one is going to output something like this when you use it. So let me show you. If you replace this with something like this, you can see if you use this one, the devices in your styled, actually everything, it's a string. You can export it everywhere you want, and you will get something like this. And there is something called media queries. So let me show you. Media queries in CSS, which you can use to make your website responsive. As you can see, in order to use them, you should go ahead and type something like @media, and you could apply some condition here. We will not use those. You can go ahead and say only screen, and there is another condition which sets the max width to 600 pixels. Sorry, and if the conditions met, you get this CSS applied. So this one actually is going to, as it says here, if the browser window is less than 600 pixels, is 600 or less than 600 pixels, the background color will be light blue, as you can see it over here. So we are going to do something like this. So you can actually go ahead and type that inside the styled component. So let's say we have a component called responsive, and it's a styled component, so I don't know, it's a div. You can just come over here and say media and go ahead or copy this, just apply something here. As you can see, this one will work, and we aim to do something more managed than this one, because if you're going to use this several times, it's not wise to go ahead and just type this. You can go ahead and say something like this, and say, for example, media, and inside the media, let me move it over here and remove this one, and inside the media we could go ahead and say give me the devices and the tablet, and just do something like this. It will output something, it will output this one. If I want to be specific about it, let me see, tablet, it's over here. Oops, remove it, we'll replace it here, and this one should be removed, I guess. Oh no, it's fine actually. The tablet over here, let me see, and this one will output something like this. It's exactly the same as this one, besides this one, you can see. But the advantage here is if we go ahead and change our breakpoints over here, we get them changing all over the project, and we don't have to go or search for this value or this condition and change it everywhere. So that's how we are going to make a responsive concept and use responsiveness in React. Okay, now that we know that, let me remove this and remove this one. I already have the colors that we are going to use, so let me go ahead and open this file over here, grab those, paste them over here, and we should be good to go. Rather than that, we need the images, so I will copy the images here. I got them over here inside the assets folder, and the images that we are going to use. There's some images and some icons that we get to them, so or actually let them stay. I'm not going to delete them yet. So after this, we should come over here inside the public and change something, and change the title to YT React UI photo stock is responsive, and we need to use a specific font that being used in here. Let me see, I think it's yeah, Montserrat, if I'm not wrong. So we will use the Google fonts and import them. I think I have them already, so let me check it again. Yes, I got them already, and you can go ahead and search it here. So what was the name? Let me see. Yep, as you can see, this font here, and I've already included all the styles that I wanted. So I'll come down here, copy this couple of lines and paste them right below this one and save it. Now inside the global stylings over here, we should change the font. So let me go ahead and grab this one and paste it over here, and now we're good to go. So, and we should install the React icons, and npm install React icons here. Now that the React icons is installed, we should go ahead and run the npm install to get all the packages that we need from the package.json. Now that everything is fine, you should go ahead and type in npm start to get the project up and running. Let me close this. We're not going to need this one too. And over here, refresh it, put it up on both sides, both browsers, and as you can see, we got the project up and running over here and here. So let's change something inside the app element. We don't need the title. Let me remove that. And for the app element, we should change some stylings here. Display is going to be flex, I guess. Height is going to be, actually we got the height. We should change it to min height. The display is going to be grid actually. Position is going to be relative. And let me see. We get some gap for the columns and rows. 0.5 should be fine here. And for the grid, we should define the templates for the columns. So I will do that right away. Grid template columns. It's going to be 12 columns. So we use the repeat function. 12, 1fr. It's one fraction here. And it's kind of the same for the rows. And after that, we should set we got the justify content center, we got align items center, and actually we should set the justify items center too. And after that, we add some padding. It's 0.5 rem for top and nothing for other sides. 0.5 for top, 0 for right, 0 for bottom, and 0 for left. Okay, now that we have this, the app elements, it's fine. Let me create a folder here inside the assets called components. And components, I think I'm creating a new file. New folder, components, and inside the components I will create a new folder called styled for the shared ones, and inside that I will create a new file called img styled.js. I will define this one first because there's only 2 styled components that we actually need this for this project, and one of them is img, and I will define it right away. So const img equals to styled, imports styled, and we didn't get the auto import, so I will just type in and import that manually. And it's an image, just like that. Export default img, and in here we'll import styled from styled components. I will save it. Okay. Now let's move in here and create the parts of our project. The main idea is to divide the whole screen to grids. 12 for the rows, 12 for the columns, and 12 for the rows. And based on that, we set our items. For example, logo is going to be in the first cell of this grid right over here. Then we expand the search bar, and at the end we have the profile section. Then we go to the next column. Next column is going to consist 2 sections. It's going to actually have 2 sections. It's going to be 12 columns, but we divide the 12 columns into 2 columns. And for the first one we use the side menu, and for the right one we use the content, and inside the contents we have our content that we get to them on how to show them like this. So let's go ahead and create the logo first. I will save this, and let me zoom over here, put it right in, or maybe you should get it smaller, and there you go. So in here for the logo, I'll create a new component called logo.js. Inside it we have a Yeah, actually we don't need to create a React functional component. We could just go ahead and create the logo. So I'll say const logo equals to styled dot. I will use a tag, export default logo. Let me see if we get the auto import here. Yes, we get. And for the logo is not an image here. It's just a text with some specific adjustments. So for example, we got the letter spacing minus 12%, line height to 31 pixels, size to 26, style normal, and weight to 700. You can actually go ahead and grab this from grab the CSS from here, but we will type them manually. So for the logo, we should place the logo in the first cell of the our grid. So in order to define which place we are going to place, which cell we are going to place this component on the grid, we should use the grid column and say we are going to start from the first cell and span one cell. It will actually use a single cell, not more, not less. And same for the row. And if you press save, come back here, let me include it first so we can see the changes. Logo, and it should put something in it, grts. As you can see, let me show you using debugging tools here. So we don't we got the grid, but let me refresh the page. Yes, we get this one. If I turn this one on, you can see that we got a grid 12 for each side, and the logo is in the first cell as we set that over here. So if I change this to span 2, it will take 2 of the columns. It will span itself 2 of the columns. So as you can see, it did span itself for 2 columns, 2 more columns. So that's it. That's how you place your items on a grid. You can actually go ahead and say, look, I want my element to be straight from the first cell to the, I don't know, to the 5th cell, like this. You cannot you can skip the usage of the span here, but it will cause you some problems, because if your element is too big or the sizing matters to you, it might change the size of the columns for the other elements. That's why we should use the span, so it will stretch, not fill the columns. Okay, let me refresh this so we get everything back to normal, and I will minimize that. Okay, let's style the logo here. Get back over here. We set the positioning. Now we set the letter spacing to minus 0.12% or 12 rem, as you can see. Font weight to bold. Font size 1.5 rem. Yes, it's better. And the padding, it's going to be 0.5 rem for the top and bottom, and 1 rem for the sides. Okay, we are going to use our first responsive ruling actually here. So we'll go ahead and say media, and after that I could go ahead and say only screen and, but I'm not going to use that here. Devices, we access the devices from the theme file over here. We are not exporting this, and we are not going to use it because the values in here are only here to be used inside this one. So if we need to change anything, we come over here. We don't change anything in here, and we actually access the devices. So devices, and if the size of the screen, the width of the screen gets bigger than a tablet size, which we just defined here, these are some standard breakpoints. You can play with them and change them to your desires. So, and for the devices, we use the tablet. So this styling, this CSS is actually not the CSS. This styling in here will be applied when the screen's width gets bigger than a tablet size or the 768 pixels. So in here I should change the font size. So here I will say if it's bigger than tablet size, change the font size to 2 rem and change the padding to double the paddings. 1 rem for top and bottom, 2 rem for the sides. Now let's see how does that affect our stylings. In here, as you can see, let me show you. First, okay, we got the 2 rem already because it's bigger than a tablet size. And if I use this button here, it will convert this to a grid, and you can actually use this one and use some custom sizes over here, resolutions. So as you can see, we got the breakpoints here, but if you want to show them, you should come here. For the default is like this, and I think okay, this one doesn't matter right now. You can use this to get the media queries and get this one to show the rulers. So as you can see, when we reach the tablet size, I should make it bigger. When we reach the tablet size right over here, the font size gets changed. Right now we got the, let me show you, we got the 1.5 rem here. So if we cross this line, you can see that this one gets bigger. So the font size changes to 2, and the padding changed to 1 rem for top and bottom and 2 rem for the size, and that's how responsive works. So if I remove this one, let me see, and refresh the page, you can see we have no media queries used here. It's a good way to detect the media queries. If you're going to clone a site, you can just use this information to clone your to make it work for your clonings and etc. As you can see, we got so much media queries over here used for each and every one of them. So that's how you use your debugging tools from the Chrome. They are so useful. So now that we know how the responsiveness work and how to use our tools in our advantage, let's go ahead and continue our designing. We got the, let me uncomment this one. We got the logo done. We should move to the other component, which is the search bar. So I will create a new component here called search bar. For a search bar, we need some icons here. Let me see, let me make sure. Yes, we got, we have to import this magnifier. And nothing else I see here. Actually, we only need this one. So I'll go ahead and create a React functional component. Oh, it's search bar. It should be search bar like that. Rename this one. Copy this, create a new element. And the search bar element equals to style.div. Or you could go with article. For widgets, you could use articles, and we're not actually using this search bar anywhere else, but it's kind of like a widget to me. And let me import the icon. From the React icons are fine, just like that. We need the colors, so import colors. I think I have something called border radius here. Let me see. No, we don't have something called border radius. You could define your border radiuses and just access them from the theme file, but we are not going to do that in here. And we need the devices, because this one is going to be responsive too. one more element that we need is the input. We'll just call it in here. For the input, we could go ahead and define the input inside the style, but we actually use it once here and we never use it again, so that I will define it over here. Input, just like that. And inside the search bar, let me use those items. First one is going to be RI search line for the icon and the input. And the placeholder. It's going to be this one. So I'll save it. Get back in here. Load the component. And as we save it, we should see something here. Let's compile. Yes, we got the results in here. So let's go ahead and style them. For the search bar, we should first set the background color to colors dot. Let me see. I think it's gray BG or just a gray. Then set display to flex. Align item center. We don't need to justify. We set the padding to 1 rem. Actually 1 rem for each respective size. Width to 100%. Actually, we don't need this because when you set something on the grid, you will already tell that element that how much space it should take. And when you say width 100, it doesn't actually affect anything. I think you could set the width less than 100 and affect the things in the grid, but setting that to 100%, I don't think that's going to be useful, but we will see that in a sec. So I will just comment this one out and come here with the column gap 1 rem. Border radius to, let me see, do we have any border radius here? No, we don't, so we don't need that too. Or make sure. No, we don't have any border radius here. Yes. So and now we tell this one to where should it be on the grid column. It should start from the second cell because first cell is for this one, for the logo, and it should span like 10 cells. It will, I think it will left 2 cells for the profile section. Yes, it does affect things. That's and the reason is we set the I think it's the justify items or justify content to center, and it will center the element, and it will set the width to the content only. It will not stretch the content all the way to the cell. So we should actually say here to set the width to 100%. But I think if we there should be an option for the grid to make them stretch over here. As you can see, you can set them at, of course it's for alignment, but you can set them to stretch. Okay, let's go back to the coding, and in here now we got everything working here. We should go ahead and do some styling for the icon. First of all, we should change the color. So SVG, we access the SVG. Or you can actually skip this one. Color is going to be colors, I think it's gray 2. Oh, not the background color, my bad. and the font size 1.5 rems. Then we use the media queries again. Devices, because as the project gets the viewport's width gets bigger, we should be getting more space for this profile section, so this one should be a bit smaller when the screen gets bigger. Okay. Devices, and the mobile large. The grid column should be 2. Span 10, it's the same with this one, it doesn't change here. And let me grab this, come over here, tablet. After the tablet sizing, we change this one to 9 and give one more cell to the profile section. Okay, let's move ahead to the input. Actually, I think you could skip that, because from here that it's a default size for us, it's the medium one, because we design from the mobile version to the desktop version. So this is going to be the base one. The base is going to be a mobile, and after that on the tablet size, or sorry, the mobile size, it doesn't change, so it should stay the same here. And at the moment we hit the tablet sizing, it should change to the 9. So I think you could go ahead and skip this one, but I will keep it on, or actually I can comment that out. If we got any problems, I will uncomment that one. For the input, we set the border to none. Background color, it's going to be transparent. Flex is 1, so it will take all the available space. And when we focus on it, the outline should be none. There you go. Okay, it's time to move to the next section, which is the profile section. Let me show you. This one on the low width with the smaller devices, we should hide these 2 icons and only show the avatar. But for the big devices, we could go ahead and show these 2. So in here, I will create a new file called profile section. .js. We need a React functional component here. And we could use article here too. It's not a widget, so, but let me go with the div here. And press save. ES profile section. We import it over here. And let's see, style not imported. There you go. We got the PS over here. By default, the grid system will place all the elements in the first row after each other in different cells, and as soon as it gets out of cells for that specific row, it will place them on the second row. So we have 12 of them already here, which these 2 take the majority of this, like for like 90% of it, 95 even, and the other element will be placed here. And if you add another item, let me show you. We should see how much grid space we already have, and it's none. There's all taken, as you can see those. So the grid system will place the next item in the next row. Okay, let me minimize this. Get back here and import some of the icons that we need for this specific section. We need the avatar. icon, and it's going to be from images, icons, avatar, .svg. We go ahead and press save. Next, we need the notification icon, sorry, native icon. Let me grab this. Change this one to native notification. And the next one, we need the chat or the message. I will call the chat icon. This one is going to be chat 2. We need the image here. From the styles, img, and in the end we need the color and the devices. Let's see, did we get the auto import? Colors, yes, and the devices. And we should be good to go. So let's define the elements that we need over here. We need an image here, and it will inherit the styles from img. Then we have avatar image. It's going to be the same, I think. It's the same. And we need the notification icon because we are going to add this little indicator or the badge actually using the pseudo items. We'll call this one native. It's going to be spam. And that's kind of the end. Now we should go ahead and use those items that we just defined here. First we use the chat icon. Image rc chat icon. Width is going to be, if I save this, you see this one, width is going to be 24 pixels. We need another image here for the native icon, and it should be inside the let's see, native. Take this element, and in the end we use the avatar image, and this rc is going to be avatar icon. Is it icon? Yes, it's icon. And the width is going to be 32 or 38 maybe. Yeah, that's better. As you can see, it will style them like this because they are one element here, inside one element here. And when we are done with the styling, those two should be fine. So first of all, for the profile section, we need to set the display to flex, justify content, center, same as the align items. Then we tell the grid where we are going to place this specific item, this profile section. So grid column, start from 12 and span one cell. For the padding, We use 0 for top and bottom and 0.5 rem for the sides. Now we should use some media queries here. Go media, devices, for mobile large grid. We change the grid column. Actually, we are not changing this one here too, so I should revise my code again, but I will keep this one, duplicate it again. But this time, when we hit the tablet sizing, we should move back one cell and span for 2, because on the tablet sizing we changed the search bars sizing one cell behind, like this. We gave one extra cell to the profile section. And on the laptop, we are not going to change this. Actually, we are going to align the items. So justify content. They're going to be flex, and so when there's something like this, they will stick here. On the low sizes, they should be center with a gap between them, but as the page gets bigger and bigger, this one should be flex end, so it will keep the positioning to the end of the grid. It's a optional decision, but I've decided to do this. And we give it some column, gap of the rem. Now for the image, we got this setup. As you can see over here, it's fixed now. If we go all the way down, you can see that this one changes. As you can see, it gets bigger. We will fix this in a sec. And as we get bigger and bigger, we get this justify center and the gap between them. Or actually, it's not center, it's flex end with the gap between them. So if I remove this, let me see. You're not taking the... Oh, let me see. We are not hitting the specific sizings here because of the limitation on my actual monitor size. Okay, no problem. We go ahead. And in here for the image, set the display to none. Why? Because as I told you before, we are designing from the mobile version or the smaller version to the desktop version and the bigger version. So by default, this one should not be displayed, the icon. So set the display to none. I don't save it so it doesn't get disappeared here. And set the cursor to pointer. We want them to act like a button or something like a link. And the key point is here. When we hit the tablet sizing, let's see, devices dot tablet. Then we set the display to black or inline black, whatever suits you. If I save this, we don't see the icons. This image is being used for both of them, so we don't see them. But if we come over here, there you go, they are here. So if I make this smaller, as you can see, just like that, they disappear. You can add some animations, which we will do for the items here, for these items. But you can do some animations for when they disappear or something like that. But we are not going to do this animationing for these two icons. So for the avatar image, we should only set the cursor to pointer, just like this. And for the notification icon, we are going to use some pseudo elements. Position is going to be relative. Then we go straight to the pseudo element before. Content. Here. Actually, we don't see that in this sizing, so I will remove this one. Oh, sorry, this one. So we see that actually. We style that, then we uncomment this. This one. We need that. So here, set the content to 2. Position. It's going to be absolute. Top 0. Right 0. Transform. Translate. We should move it a bit to the top and the left. 30%. And minus 50%. Display to none. And we set the display to none because we don't want it to show, and we will change that on the actual tablet size, but I don't think it matters because the parent element, which is this one, is getting the position or disable none, display none, and it will not show on the page. So this one should not be necessary here. And font size. To 0.65 rem. Width to 15 pixels. Same for the height. Color is going to be colors dot background, or the white. For background color, we use the black. Do we have that? Yes, we have the black set. As you can see, we get the icon here. Border radius to 50%, so it will make this one a circle. And in the end, I will set this to clicks, justify content, enter, and the align items, enter 2. If I say this, you can see that we got the icon here. We should actually have a border. 2 pixels solid, and it's the background color. We want to make this little white line here. It's actually a border. So colors dot background. If I save this, you can see we get that. So we don't have the icons. We actually have them here. That's weird. Let me see. Okay. Actually, we get that. I did not know that. So we get the pseudo item. That's weird. So let's go down here. Change this one to none. And when we hit the tablet sizing, tablet, we set the display to flex, just like that. Yes, we get the styling done, and as you can see, we have a gap here. We can change the gap when we hit the tablet. In here, let me find the profile section. It's here. So we have a column gap of 2 rem here. We should set it to, actually we don't need that. In tablet we set it to 1 rem, and when we hit the laptop, let's see if that fixes those. Yes, it's better now. So just like that, we get the 2 rem right here, as you can see, 2 rems, and we are good to go. So Let me keep this one here and move this one a little bit to the right. So we got the profile section done and ready. There's nothing more here. Let me see. Yes, we got the notification. There's nothing more here. We will go on to the side menu. Move on to the side menu. I'll close this and this one. Create a new component called side menu.js. React functional component. Actually, I had a snippet. Let me see if I have a snippet for this one. You can customize your snippet like this. And I actually have RFCS, so let's check that out. RFCS. Yes, as you can see, we get the style component and everything here, just like that. So I'll save it. Calm down and start styling the, or actually I should change this. It's not the profile section. It should be side menu. There you go. Side menu. I will use it here. And we get the side menu. As you can see, it will goes automatically to the next row as there's no space left here. So for this one, we need 4 icons here. You put them in span, call it top section or something like that, and put the others in the next span, and they are going to be the bottom section. So let me make this better. Okay, we need to import some images here. Import, we need a category. We need a bookmark. I don't know what I call this. It's a folder, I think. Yeah, it's a folder. And we have the download icon, and we have the ticket and the gear or the settings. So let's import those. First, I will import the cat icon from. Sorry, I should get used to this keyboard. It's frustrating. Trust me. Icons, and it's called category. Category.svg. That's fine. I think we need more. 1, 2, 3, and we need 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we need another one. Cat icon. It should be bookmark. Next one is folder. Actually, let me add an icon here. Yes. And this one is going to be folder. Download. And ticket. Then in the end we need the setting. I think we're fine. Nope, we are not fine. I think there is a problem with namings here, so cannot resolve download. So what's the problem? It's download the problem. So download, refresh this, and we still get the same problem. Download. Let me see the assets, images here, and download. Did I misspell it again? Oh, the file here got some naming problem. So let me rename this to download, and right now we should be fine, I think. Okay, where's the problem again? No, I fixed it. Oh, paste the wrong one. Down, load. This one is fine, and this fine. Well, it should be like this, and we are good to go now. Yes, finally. So for this side menu here, as I told you, I'm going to define two sections, top section and bottom section. So top section goes to styled. It's called section, but we are not going to use a section because the section needs a heading. We don't have any headings here. I'll just use span. And this one is going to be bottom section. Let's save it. And I think we need another thing called menu icon or something like that. We are going to wrap our icons or images. In this case, we are using images inside that element. And we could use an A tag so we get the cursor, and it's kind of navigation bar. We could go ahead and say nav here, side menu, and it's going to be a nav. It's not an article. I think you can use a site here too. Let me see. Define some content aside from content is placed in it. It's mainly used for sidebars, so that's what we have here. It's a sidebar, so I would use side here. And let's use those items. First, we got the top section. Got the bottom section. Okay. Inside this, we use the menu icons, and inside the menu icons we used img src set to the category. I think the first one is cat icon. It said something in here on other than that. If we don't do that, we don't get the cursor, the icon here. So we don't have the img imported. Actually, we need the colors here too. And now we got this. If I remove it, we don't get the cursor. It's a link to nowhere, so that should not work. How many icons is here? The category, the bookmark, folder, and the download. So 3 more. This one is going to be bookmark. This one is the folder. Last one is download. Let me grab these two, paste them over here, change this to ticket, and the last one to setting. And if we press save, we got all our icons over here. So let's jump into the styling. First of all, set back some background color for this one. Background color to background. The color is going to be gray. Actually, it does not affect here. Color does not affect here because these are SVGs and they are not React icons, so I will remove this. And as you can see, this SVG here is not gray as any other icons in this sidebar. We are going to fix that in a bit because there are SVGs. You can just go ahead and edit them. Okay, set the grid column to 1 and span 1. It's only going to take one column here, but it will take all the other rows all the way down to the end. Create row to span 11, just like that. And as you can see, we get this one, it's set to center because of the because of the column. And let's go and do continue the styling. So width is going to be 100%. Same for the height. Display is going to be flex. Flex direction is column. And align items center. Justify content space between, so it will push these two items, one in the bottom, one in the top. And transform, translate, minus 110 pixels. It's going to be translate X, because by default we don't want this to be shown here on the mobile screen. As soon as we hit something like the tablet, maybe we should change this on to the 0 and show the menu. So before we do that, I will come in here. It's not a good idea to do this, but I will do it for this tutorial. So I set the, let me see, I set the transition to all. For each element, it will apply it to all elements. It's going to be 0.2 seconds, and it's going to be ease out, just like that. If I press save, we can see we get a little bit animation here. I hope. No, we don't get that, so that's fine. But we will see the animation soon. So transform should be minus, and if I uncomment this, let me see. Yes, it goes to the left. You can see, just like that. So the opacity should be 0, and as soon as we hit the tablet sizing, so media, devices, and tablet, we should make these two in the right way. So this one should be 0, and this one should be 1. If we save this, come here, refresh, we see this menu over here. The two icons are at the bottom, and if I hit the tablet sizing, you can see we get rid of the side menu. Here's the animation. So get back here. I think the side menu is done. We should go ahead and do the styling for the sections. Or let me do this first, so we get to see the menu over here. Sorry, the opacity. Okay, so we can style them. Display is going to be flex, and flex direction is going to be column. Align items center, and row gap going to be 2 rem, just like that. And the bottom section is going to be exactly like this one, so I will inherit all the stylings from the top section. And as you can see this, got this one. I think we need the padding here. Yes, now it's better. Let me see. we still got some extra spacing right down here. I think I know where the problem is with this scrolling here. I think it's with this one. We set the min height. If we change it to height, we should make it fixed. Should get the fixed version. So for the padding, I think we need padding for top 2. So I'll set the padding to actually make it 2 rims for top and bottom, 0 for the sides. That's kind of better. And as for the item side menu goes, I think we are done here. But how to change the color of this one? We could go ahead and where's the images? Right here. The bookmark, I think. Yes, right over here. You can see that we got something called stroke. If we searched for this one, there's 2 of that. You could actually change it to the like the others. So let me see. What's the color for the others? The folder, for example, is 84, 84, 84, and we will do the same here for the bookmark. If I save it, you can see the bookmark image gets changed here. So the side menu is over. Let me close that too, and we should go and move on to the content section, which is the main part of our project. So I will create a new component called content. React functional component. Change it to content. And use it over here. Content, just like that. We get the content over here. So okay, let's not waste the time here. We come back in the end and fix this problem if it exists at that moment. So here we did this. Actually, we should move on to the next section, which is column. Display to flex. Flex direction. Column, row gap, 1 rem, and that's it. You can see it will organize them for us. And for the fade, we are going to use a linear gradient for the fade. And we will set the position to the sticky. It will stick to the bottom of the screen while we scroll. So position is going to be sticky. Display block. And after that, after the display, setting the display to block, you can actually go ahead and set this to inline blocking. And set the Z index to 1, top to 99%, or not the 99, 90%. When working with the stickies, you should set the top element. You should set this value, otherwise it doesn't work. I think it's top or left, I'm not sure about it, but I'm sure about the top. So the item itself is going to take 10% of the space of the viewport. And based on that, we set the top to 90%, and when the top is 90%, the position will change to sticky. Actually, it's fixed, I guess, in the first place, then it will change to sticky. I'm not sure about the under the hood how does it works, but that's how we are going to do it. Bottom to 0, width to 100%, height to 10%, background It's going to be a linear gradient which goes from white to white transparent, which is transparent 180 degrees from bottom. It will make it goes from bottom to top. First color is going to, it's actually from top to bottom from the first color. First color is transparent. And the second color is white, I guess. If we could go ahead and just use the background, that's white too. And let's see. Let me change the background color to red to see if it's working. Yes, it does. And as you can see, when I scroll, you get this one sticked to the bottom. And let me uncomment this. And there's a fade here. We cannot see that because there is no item beneath it, but there is a fade here. We will see that in a second. After that, we should come here and see what do we need. Yes, we need to define this one, change those spans with some item with actual image. So let's go ahead and create a new file here called grid item file.js. Grid item. For the grid item, we need some values which we take from props. First is image, second is title, the last one is description. And we need something called, we need to use state here for the hover, and I will tell you why. But before that, we should import some stuff in here. First is going to be style, then we need the keyframes. We are going to do some animations for the items. Then we need the image. And avatar. We are going to use a different avatar. We are going to use this one. Right here. It's VG avatar 2. Just like that. And we need some icons for these two. And this one right down here. Actually, 3 icons. RI send plain line. Second one is going to be BS bookmark. BS bookmark dash. From React icons, BS package, bootstrap, and the last one is MD outline file download. From MD. So let's include it first. And then in here We will import the colors. Just like that. And right now we are going to define the other elements. So let's take a look at the elements that we need for each of these items. First, we have a background, an image here. Then we got the top section, which contains 3 icons or an avatar and 2 icons. Then we got this kind of description or the info section, or I will call it bottom section. For the bottom section, we have a title, we have the description, and the download button. So we will use the flex display, split this section into 2 spans and fix them with the justify and the align content. For the top, we are going to do the same and give it some beautiful animation. So let's go ahead and create those. Top section, it's going to be span. We need an image. Style, it will inherit from the image here. We have the avatar image. Avatar image. It's the same. Then we have a row, which we will use for this one. Then we have bookmark, icon, element, span, and we have the send icon. You could go ahead and just create an element for both of these two, but we should apply animation to them, and for the animation to be working, like one of them is arriving sooner or one of them is arriving later, we should give them different animation durations. So I will create a new main one, and the second one will inherit everything from this one. But the main difference is the animation duration for the send icon is going to be different. So styled, bookmark, icon element. Just like that. Now we define the bottom section. We have the title for the bottom section, styled, I think H2 is fine. H2. And there is a div for the description. You can use span here, but I've tested and the animation didn't work on the span. I don't know if spans in general cannot take animation or something like that. I don't think that's the case, because we are getting animation working on this span, but I was testing the project and the span didn't work here, so we are going to use a div. And the download button. Alt button. I'm using button only for the naming convention here, because I use the button in the naming. I just get a better feeling for using button. You can use a tag, you can use span, it depends on you. And that should be it. All of these items, all of these elements, they are going to be inside an grid item, inside this grid item. So let's go ahead and use them first. So first of all, we need the image, I think. going to use the top section here. First we need the top section. In the top section we have the avatar. Image, I think it's image or icon, I don't know. Oh, the image, the SRC is going to be, oops, avatar, icon. And if you press save, let's see, does anything gets changed here? Not yet, because we are not using the grid item yet, so I will replace this one with grid item. Give it image of image 1 and the title of, let me grab the title from here, minimal leaf. The description is going to be beautiful leaf in the ... So we'll save this and we should be good to go. There's a problem here. Refresh. Okay, looks like the avatar 2 is the avatar, not the avatar. This should be avatar icon. And okay, we got the problem here. So what's the naming here? See, it's inside the icons, that's why. I save it now. Yes, that's solved. Styled from a styled components, and let's see, there is this one. And if I press save, yes, we get the avatar image here. And we need to use the row. Bookmark icon element. Mark. Let me see. BS bookmark dashed. And second one is send icon. Or I send a plain line. Save it. Yes, we get it here. After that, the top section is over. Get to the bottom section. And forward, let me over here. It's like that. For the bottom section, we need the... It's fine now. We need a span here. I will give it some inline styling. Style flex to 1. We have the title here. Takes the title. And we have the description, which takes the description here. After that, we have the download icon for the download button. Inside that, we use the MD outline file download icon, and there you go. There's your button. So after all of this, actually in here, we need a background image, or the image to be set to take the whole element, kind of like a background. So image RC equals to image, just like that. If I save this, we get to see nothing, because I think the image, let me see, I can move it down here. Anything changed? Nope. I will leave it down here. I think we should start styling, then we get the image shown here. So for the grid element element, set the overflow to hidden, because the icons are going to be flying out of the borders of this icon. So we should set the overflow to hidden, position to relative, and then we hover over it. You should get a smooth back shadow or box shadow. So box shadow, RGBA 000 12%, 5 pixels, 8 pixels, 16 pixels, and 1 pixel in the end. So when we hover over it, you can see we get this little kind of shadow here. For the top section, display to flex, justify content center, let me see, or not center, it's space between. Padding, it's going to be 4% top, 4% for right, 0 for bottom, and 4% for the left. The position is going to be absolute, and top is 0, left is 0, width is going to be 100%, and the height will be max content. Max content will look for all the childs. I don't know if it checks in nested child inside the childs, but I think it will at the end it will take the biggest item, the max content, and set the height to the max content to that item. So it will look between these three. These are the three elements that we have in the top section. In here, it will take the largest one or the tallest one and will set the height to that, just like this one, as you can see in here. Okay, for the image, display to line block, left to 0, top to 0, width to 100%, height to 100%, save it. Yeah, we got something here. Let me see if we get the image right or what. Oh, do we have this? Yes, we have it over here in the content. It's actually right, so I don't think that's the problem. So let's go ahead and we'll find out soon. For the avatar image, we are going to set the width to 2.7 rems. Same for the height. Opacity is 1. We are going to change this based on the hover. So when we hover, the opacity gets changed. So in order to do that, we come down here. We could just access the hover using the style components. Let's go ahead and say hover. But actually, we don't want the hover to get triggered when we hover over the avatar. We want to get triggered when we hover over the entire element. So it should be right here. If anywhere, we are going to use the hover just like this. But when we hover over here, we should get down and access this one. So I will use the use state and React events in here, but you can just use what you want inside the over here. I think it works if you go ahead and say something like this, your like subsection, and apply some stylings in here. So let's see if that's gonna work. So for the avatar image in here, if we set the display to none, for the opacity, let's see. Yeah, that does work actually. So I will move this one all the way down here and give it the opacity of 1. It should be 0 actually, so when we hover over it, it should get changed, as you can see here. And in here we are going to use animations, so we need to define the animations here using keyframes. So first one is going to be fade from top equals this keyframes, and for the first step in the animation 0%, the translate, I think, yeah, the translate should be minus 150%. So translate y minus 150%. It will just move out of the viewport, and the opacity is going to be 0. And in the next step, which is the last 100%, this one should be 0 and this one should be 1. So we have the animation fade from top. Let me copy this, paste it over here, and create the animation for the bottom. So fade from bottom. And at first it's going to be 300 plus 300, opacity to 0. Then it's going to be, let's see, 0 and the opacity to 1. I think that's it. That's it for the animations. So now that we have those, I will come down here, or let me see, actually in here I will set the animation to this one, fade from top. So when we hover over it, it should get the animation fade from top. Where's the problem? 1 second. Yes, as you can see that. So I think the timing should be something like 0.3 seconds. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Now let me see, do we need anything else for the avatar image? It doesn't seem like it. So we have something here for avatar, cursor to pointer, and then we hover over it, we get a nice shadow here. So filter, back, drop shadow, not the back. The color is going to be 21, 21, 21, and the 21. 1 pixel, 4 pixel, and 2 pixel. So let's see. When you hover over it, yes, we got the shadow. It's right over here. for the row, let's see. In here, the display is going to be flex, column, gap. It's going to be 1 rem. Align items, center, flex 1, justify content, center, and the font size is going to be 1.5 maybe. Yeah, 1.5, and the color is going to be colors dot black. If we press save, you can see that this happens to this. Okay, for the bookmark element, bookmark icon element. We need to set the border radius to 500%, 50%, sorry. Opacity should be, actually I will set it to 0, but commented, we should see this actually here. Background color should be colors, gray BG. Width 2.8 rems. Same for the height. Display to flex. Align items, center. Define content, center. And cursor, pointer. And I think that's it. So let's see, do we get the background image here? Refresh the page. No, we're not, so where's the problem? Actually, we get the background color. I add a border here. You can see that if I change it over here, yeah, we got the background color, but it's kind of not showing. So refresh it. Let's go to the send icon. Or actually, in this we should set an animation like this one. So I'll go ahead and say bookmark icon element. And is that right? Yes. For this one, we'll paste those here. Right from top. So you can see both of them gets the animation, but for this one here, send icon, it should be different. Should be 2. So one of them gets down quicker, as you can see. So for the row, let's see, justify content should be flex and not the center. So next one is the, actually we didn't use this. I was going to put the timing in here, but we did it over here. Actually, that's better. So the next one is going to be bottom section. Bottom section display is going to be, let me grab those from the top section. And for the bottom section here, padding is going to be 4 for every side. space between, and align items should be center. And position is absolute. We should change the top with bottom, and height is going to be 30%. The background color, actually you can come over here, grab the values here from this CSS one, so I will grab these two, paste them over here. I press save, you can see that we get that. So there's a problem with this one, we're not seeing the image here. I think it's time to fix that. Or before that, let me finish this one first. So color is going to be colors.background. I save it, you can see that they changed to this one. Actually I could give it, let's see, this item max content or 100 pixels. Is that working? It looks like, actually we don't have the image here. As you can see, we don't have this RC being passed here. I think I know what the problem is. Is it this one? Or the image? That should be fine because we have an image here and it's getting past the values. Refresh the page. Nope, it did not fix it. I gotta come back to this at the end again. So let me start the title, or let's get back in here, and there's a problem. I passed in the image, it should be img. Now we got our element up and running. That's what I'm talking about. So, and we could go back to the styling, just like that. For this background, let me grab this one, come down in here. I will set the opacity to 0 and or to 1. The opacity should be 0 here. This one should be 1. And when I hover over it, you can see that this shows up. Let's go to the title. For the title, margin up or bottom, 0 to rem. We actually have to pass in the same values like this ones. So recital over here, I will set the opacity, come on, to 0. Come down here, or actually let me grab the title in here. I'll give it this 2, but we should change fade from top to fade from bottom. Let's see that if that's working. Yes, it is working. It should be 2. I'll give the other one to the description. So this one should be 3. Yes, that's working beautifully. For description, font weight 300, and font size 1.15 rem. Save it. You can see that we get these 2 animations beautifully done. For these 2, we should set the translate. I will fix that in a sec. Just like here, let me see. Okay, we don't have the translate here, so I will grab one of these. This one. and inside the got the row, I'll paste it over here, transform one. So where's the problem? Oh, there. It will fade. So we should actually access the value in here, the prop value. So that gets us back to the first step, which is going to use this one. So I will go ahead and say const is hover, that is hover equals to use state, just like that. Let's set this false. When we hover or on mouse enter, is that right? Yes. We change the value to true, and when the mouse leaves, set that one to false. And pass this prop to these elements here. The avatar. Actually, avatar is fine. It does not get faded like this. Let me see what's special about the avatar. Where is the avatar? Right in here. I don't get it. So what's the problem with these two? There's actually no problem with them. We could just refresh and make sure. Yeah, there's no problem with them. So I will just go ahead and comment this out. These ones. It's so refresh. It's actually working. So let's move to the download btn. Or the download button. For the download button, we are setting opacity to 0. We'll comment that out. Or actually, we don't have to. So, come down here. Give it these values. Yes, we get the bottom working. Now, right over here, set the width to 2.7 rem. Border none. Border radius 10%. Color to colors dot background. Font size 1.5 rem. Display to flex. Cursor to pointer. Specify content. Center. Align item. Center 2. And the background is going to be a linear gradient, which goes we have them in the themes. We have two colors here, from this font, first font, to the second one. So it's going to be something like this. colors dot do we have the colors here? Okay, colors dot gradient dot or dark, it's called dark, I guess. Yes, first one and the second one. Just like that. So there's a problem here. See, oh, we did one, and as you can see, we get the button as we wanted, like this one. Yeah, they're exactly the same despite the icon itself. So now that we have our item here, a grid item, we should be fine to go ahead and just use it. So I will grab this one, remove these two, paste it twice, image 2, image 3, and we don't need this. If I save, you see that we get the other items in here. So cool. Move it once again. And image 4, image 5 here, image 6 right down here. Let me grab these 3, paste them over here. It's going to be 7, 8, and 9. So save it. As you can see, we get the fade here. First of all, let me show you, there's the fade on the bottom. You can see that. And let's see the other viewport. So refresh this page. We are not getting 2 columns. That's a problem here. So if I hit the tablet sizing, we get rid of this one. So we should go ahead and hide this scroll bars, as I told you. So for the content, we'll come here and comment this one. We should get rid of the scroll bar, yes. And actually I will apply it here on all elements. Or where is our scrolls? I don't know. I will just apply it here. If I refresh, it's not working. Let me see why. Refresh this one. We still get this one. So I will come over here, remove this. I will paste it just in here for the content. We get this one. That's weird. So what is it for? Let's see. It's for this article, which is the content, actually. There is something wrong with this. Yeah, it's WebKit, not WebKite. That's a problem. And now if we come over here, refresh the page, the problem is for the animation. The animations gives us some problem. As you can see, it's fine here, but the grid should be changing. So let's see. There is the grid. It's 2FR. It should be something like this. 1FR, 1FR, something like this. That's a problem. So let's go back to the content. Right in here. Yes, this should be 1FR here, 1FR here. If I press save, refresh the page, you can see if we are on the full width, we get 3 columns, as you can see over here with these icons. And if we go down and as you can see to the mobile size, we get rid of the sidebar. If we get only 1 column, we hit the tablet sizing. There you go. Or let me make it bigger because of this one. If we go to the tablet sizing, you can see we get 2 columns. More than that, desktop sizing, it should be 3 columns. You can actually change that if you want, and it's working perfectly. Okay guys, the tutorial is over. We focused on responsiveness in React using styled components and animation. We've implemented the animation again using styled components and the keyframes, and we use the media queries inside the React. We made our page responsive, as you can see it over here. Make sure you check out the results page on the Dribble. Thanks to him, shout out to him for giving us the Figma file so we can work this out easily. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about the video, and in general what you want me to do videos about, and I will appreciate any suggestions. Okay guys, thank you for watching this and take care.